Hi, this is John Rosenhead, Torah and Psychotherapist. So we're here just before Yom Kippur. We've been through Rosh Hashanah. We've been through the Aseret Teshuvah. We're coming to the end of this period of time, which is really the period of time of engaging with the concept of Teshuvah. It's a time, we could say once a year, where we really invest and focus on the ability to change. From a psychological perspective, it's a month period, a month period of intense therapy, whereas the rest of the year we're left almost without the therapeutic setting, the support and closeness of the therapist, of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have to try to build on this period to gain skills and techniques that can then help us and lead us through the rest of the year. But this opportunity is to really bring about, to start at least, to bring about change. Teshuvah is change, and we can't take it for granted that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us this gift of Teshuvah, to be able to receive Slicha, Mechila, Kapara, to be given Mechila and Kapara from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to be able to change our state from Rasha to Tzaddik, in a sense. It can't be taken for granted. More than this, as the Soloveitchik says, it's ostensibly, it seems somewhat similar to HaKadosh Baruch Hu creating the world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Yesh Ma'ayin. It created something from nothing. To be able to change a person's state, a position, a process of Teshuvah, in a sense, is creating something that wasn't there. It's a process of Yesh Ma'ayin. But this is where we need to start to clarify and to start to understand exactly what it means by Teshuvah. Because the Soloveitchik explains that we are not like a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Teshuvah is not Yesh Ma'ayin. Although the process that we go through, the dramatic, significant, therapeutic process can sometimes seem as if we are a new person. Suddenly we act and behave and think in a different way that never existed. That can ostensibly be the impression and can be the feeling of what Teshuvah is, a therapeutic process. But what therapy is, and what Teshuvah is that we are not going through a process of Yesh Ma'ayin, of creating something from nothing, but rather the potential or the remnants, fragments of what we are looking for already exists. It's inbuilt, it's inherent within us. Teshuvah is actually engaging, identifying, noticing, and rehabilitating and strengthening the parts that are in us, the parts of Teshuvah, the person that we want to be, that are there, that deep within us always exist, but they've been pushed to the side. They've been exiled in a way. And therefore, the Teshuvah process, what it does is that it's not Yesh Ma'ayin, it's not creating something from nothing, but it's really finding what already exists and creating the space, the therapeutic space for it to flourish again and to grow and to give expression. And this relates to the therapeutic process that's presented in IFS, Internal Family Systems Model, where it really looks at a person as being made up of many parts, and what every aspect of a person's existence and functioning, we could say, has a part to it. Their thoughts, their emotions, their beliefs, the way that they act, positive, negative, everything is a part that comes together, that makes up the nuances and the complexity of a human being. And what IFS says is that it looks at a situation where certain parts will be exiled, parts that are usually, most often, are the parts of a person that relate to shame, guilt, that relate to some immensely emotional and intense feelings of vulnerability, lack of self-worth, abandonment. These are all aspects that a person prefers not to engage with, not to look at, because as a defense mechanism, if a person engages with them and notices that these are parts of them, it's painful and it hurts too much, and therefore they are exiled, they are pushed away. And what happens through the therapeutic process is that the person is able to understand that these parts no longer need to be exiled. They can be brought back integrated again and incorporated within the holistic healthy, functioning system of a person where all parts, as the IFS says, the internal family system says all parts are welcome. We no longer have to exile any aspects or any parts. These aspects of the vulnerability, the shame, the guilt, the pain, they are there, they are part of us, and they need to be acknowledged and accepted. So from an IFS point of view, it's saying that exile, the therapeutic process, is how to engage and gradually and slowly in a calm, empathetic, understanding way, is to bring these exiled parts back in. And this actually relates to a pasuk in Parshas Nitzavim. If we go back a couple of weeks, is that the pasuk says, "Im yeh nitchacha b'ksei hashamayim." If you're talking about Bnei Yisrael, if your parts, even if Bnei Yisrael, there are parts of Bnei Yisrael that are exiled, they are far out, they've been exiled. Misham yikabetzcha, misham yikachacha. From there, Kadosh Baruch Hu will gather them in and take them. And what's interesting, the Soloveitchi again develops this based on the teachings of Baratanya, is that the wording of the pasuk is in singular. It says, "Nitchacha, your exile." Where it's relating to the Bnei Yisrael. It should be written in the plural sense, not in the singular sense. Therefore, based on the teachings of the Baratanya, it says it's actually relating to the individual, a person's internal parts that have been exiled. The person is part of a neshama that really still exist, but have been exiled. From there, they will be brought back. From there, they will be gathered in again. They are always there, the parts of that neshama that have been exiled. But if you're the individual, not necessarily talking, it doesn't need to talk about the whole of Bnei Yisrael. The pasuk is by inference, is suggesting that every person, every single individual Jewish neshama has a spark that exists, has a spark that's still there, that might have been exiled, and it needs to be brought back in. It needs to be integrated and incorporated again within the holistic functioning of a Jewish practice, a Jewish relationship with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and observance of Torah and mitzvahs. Those exiled parts will be brought back. That's what the pasuk in Parshas Nitzavim is saying, and that's really what the process of IFS and what tshuva. If we put this all together, a psychological process, a tshuva process, it's noticing what parts have been exiled, what parts are in exile, parts of us that, from an IFS point of view, is looking at it as shame, guilt, vulnerability, abandonment, and difficult parts that need to be incorporated. But from a teshuva process, it's saying that there are aspects of our neshama, aspects of our existence, and our Torah, you could say our Torah makeup, that need to be brought back, that have been exiled. Certain aspects of maybe our Torah observance, certain aspects of the way that we behave and interact with Bein Adam L'Makom or Bein Adam L'Chaveru, that have been exiled, but they are there. They are there. The fragments, the remnants are still there. Every person's neshama. We need to bring them back from the exile, bring them back into our system, our internal system. And that really will be the tshuva process that we're looking for. That is the hope and the reassurance that Yom Kippur gives us, is that we can access them again. We can find them again. We bring these parts back from exile to have a full tshuva. Gemara, Chatima Tova.